Hey, don't act like you're innocent. We've all done it. We've watched the Winter Olympics, we've seen the curling on TV and thought, that's not a sport. Anybody can do that. I could do that if I had the ice in the backyard. Well, if you live in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, you've got the ice in your backyard. We're at Charlotte Curling, and today on Ace at Large, we're gonna find out, is curling a sport, and is it harder than it seems on television? Trust me, the answer's probably gonna be yes to both. This is Steve McKee with Charlotte Curling. You are the president of Charlotte Curling in this incredible facility that I've heard about here and there, but how did this place come to be?
Well, this place started in a bar.
All good places start in bars, I found. Yeah.
A bunch of people some who had never curled before were getting together to watch the Olympics, and they were like, it'd be so cool to start a curling club. And so they did, and they put out Facebook ads, and they had what we call Learn to Curls, and at that point it was funny because the people at the Learn to Curl, half of them had never curled before.
So they were all learning to curl as they were teaching other people to curl.
Right,
okay.
Right.
Did it all start from the Winter Olympics? People watching it on the Olympics?
Most of it.
Okay.
I mean, you know, when the Olympics roll around, curling is the #1 watch sport, period. You know, and mind you, we've got everything. I say you've heard of Olympic-size swimming pools. We have Olympic-size ice.
So we're going to throw some rocks on the ice here in a minute. But first, we've got to find out how this works.
Now, better ingredients, better pizza means that each bite of every Papa John's slice just keeps getting better. From that first bite you have to blow on, to that second bite of crispy, crunchy toppings, to that string of gooey, melty cheese. And just when you're thinking this cannot get any better, you get to the crust and you realize it's not just any crust. Oh no, it's epic stuffed crust that's hand-stuffed with cheese. Better ingredients, better pizza, even better when it's stuffed.
Steve, walk us through some important terms that we need to know. We know that these are the rocks, simulating our rocks that we're going to throw on the ice. So what else do we need to know?
All right, so end to end, this sheet of ice is about 150 feet long.
It's the first thing I noticed when we walked in. It's much bigger than I thought it was going to be.
It is. I like to refer to it like that Olympic-sized ice, right? Well, everything about this, what you see on TV, is exactly what we've got here. It's about 15 foot wide. And you can see up here, we've got 6 foot, 6 foot. From the red line to here is about 21 feet. Now that doesn't it sounds like a lot, but when you're sliding out with the rock, it's just enough because you have to let go of the rock when you're throwing it before you hit this hog line.
Okay.
So then it's going to travel down another 100 feet or so. It's got to get over this hog line here for it to be in play. And the goal is to get as many rocks in the house, which what this is, get as many rocks as I can get in closer than my opponent. So I'm throwing first, so you get in the hack, you slide it out. I'm gonna set up a guard down here because I'm trying to guard up the center.
Okay.
So it's harder for her to get there.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna throw a corner guard there.
And so then I'm going to go through and I'm going to say, okay, well, I want to make it hard for her to score. So I'm going to put one in the house and make it, like right now, I'm scoring 1. For her to outscore this one, she has to be closer than this one is.
Got it. Now here's the question.
Yeah.
We're just moving these around and you make it sound so easy, but still, you're throwing it. It's got to curve and come around either this way or this way. So it's not like you just walk up and drop this thing down here.
So if we were to look at the path, okay, put your finger right here.
Okay.
If you're the skip, you're holding your broom. Did you ever notice they hold their broom on the ice?
Yes.
That's the target. Now, when I'm in the hack, I know that's where I'm throwing at. But I also know, and everybody else knows, that it's not going to end up there. It's going to curl. It's going to come in. So I'll draw this so you can kind of visualize. When it's out at about here, it's on a dead line for where you're at.
Right.
And then it kind of straightens out. And then as it comes in, it's going to curl in.
Okay, so it's very similar to bowling. You find your line, drop
Yes.
it around and drops right in.
Yes, and like
Another
bowling,
sport I'm not very good at, so I don't know why I'm using bowling as a reference.
But like bowling, you don't get till the end to where it really
breaks around. Okay.
breaks around.
Finally, you get to the very end. Dana would have the hammer, and she can come in and just
She can blow it
Blow
up.
everything
so I'm gonna
apart.
say, we're going to pretend we threw
Okay.
most of these rocks, and we're going to set up a couple things here. So Dana knocked that one out to here. Her rock is here. I'm sitting there. Okay, I might be sitting here. So right now, if that was the end of the game, what do you think the score is?
2-1.
Well, only one color scores. So
Okay, so just one.
right now, Dana's only scoring one.
Okay.
Right? So she has to try to get in and get closer than any of those yellows. So I'm going to give that rock to Dana.
And
And
I'm going to do a really hard takeout shot.
Now, takeouts are exactly what it sounds like.
And then
The
that'll
rock
go there.
is moving quick.
Okay.
And you literally smash into the other rock, but controlled because she wants to make sure she sticks around. She does that, she's scoring too.
Yeah, so in other words, you just can't wing it down here because you want to make sure your rock stays in the house and
Exactly.
knocks her rock out. So,
Exactly.
question. You mentioned bocce ball, and I get it, the scoring is much like bocce ball.
Yeah.
Like bocce ball, I'm really good the more I drink. So will I be better the more I drink at curling, or does that have the adverse effect?
I would say it's the adverse
Because
because
late afternoon on the beach, I'm a killer on bocce ball, but I've
Oh,
had a
yeah.
few beers by that point.
Yeah. Well, you know, most times when you're curling, the balance when you're delivering
Oh, wow.
is so key.
Well, that's going to be a problem. Never mind.
Most people get here and they're like, oh my God, it's huge.
That's what I thought when we walked in. It's much bigger than I anticipated it to
It
be.
looks so small on
Yeah.
TV, and the rocks look like they don't really travel that far. But these are 42-pound granite, solid granite rocks that you have to get to go down 150 feet on the ice to get in a 12-foot circle.
Where do you order these?
Scotland.
Okay, they all have to come from Scotland.
Well, there's two quarries, one in Nova Scotia, one in Scotland. Classic, traditional, and what they use in the Olympics are these rocks.
Okay.
They're from Cays of Scotland. But it's a very, very specific type of granite because these rocks slam into each other. And like the granite for your countertops and everything, oh, they would just get destroyed.
Sure.
But these rocks hold up.
When disaster strikes, you can count on the emergency damage experts at Paul Davis. Fire, flood, mold, or a storm, it doesn't matter. You can contact Paul Davis. Always devoted, always polite, always respectful of your needs. Learn more at acetj.com/Paul Davis.
Okay, Dana, we're in the hack. So this is called the hack where
Yes.
everything begins, okay?
That's correct.
We've got our brooms. Walk through what we need to know.
We've got
here.
our brooms. Okay, some other equipment that you're gonna need, and we've got all this for you too, is you're gonna need grippers on your shoes. They are just little rubber things, and they help you grip on the ice so you don't fall down. So we need those on both our shoes. You've got them on both. I've got curling shoes on, so I've
Yep.
only got them on one shoe. We're also gonna need, this is called a stabilizer. So this is gonna keep you stable while you deliver the rock.
Okay.
And what we'll do is we'll put this here. I'm gonna get you set up. And then this is a slider. So this is a little piece of Teflon underneath here. And so instead of, since you don't have curling shoes, what you will do is you'll step on this and use that to slide out. That Teflon makes it really slippery so that
Okay.
you can slide out of the hack with the rock. First thing that I like to teach is how to sweep. Are you good with learning that first, or you want to learn to slide out first?
Sweeping sounds good to me.
Sweeping sounds good to you. Okay, so I'm going to show you the bottom of the rock here. We'll put this back here for now. The bottom of the rock, the running surface, it looks pretty big, doesn't it? But the running surface is actually only this big. That's
Okay.
the amount that's actually touching the ice. So when you see on TV or in the Olympics, they don't do huge sweeps like this. That's a waste of your energy. You want to do small sweeps like that. And there's a couple reasons why we sweep. We sweep to keep the rock straighter, and we sweep to carry it farther. So if it was really light, they pushed it and they didn't give enough weight
Okay.
to it, then we'll sweep it to take it a little farther, drag it along.
Sounds good.
Open stance, you're going to put it, since we're walking that way, you're going to put it on the other side of your body.
Oh, okay.
Because we don't walk backwards on the ice. Yep.
All right.
Okay. And then you'll go down like this and just, yeah, and you walk at the same time. Walk and sweep, just like that. Yep. And you got to listen, because your skip will be saying, sweep, sweep, sweep. And then they'll say, oh, and you got to keep walking and follow it, because they might just call you to sweep on again.
Okay.
All right, so that's sweeping. That's pretty easy. Now
right.
on to the good stuff. You ready to learn how to do it?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. So put your left leg out.
Okay.
and you're gonna get in kind of a lunge like that. So that's the position we're going for when we actually slide out. So what you're gonna do, I'll do it one time for you so you can see me do it. I'm gonna do it on my slider instead of this because I have the shoes on. So you always come into the hack from behind.
Okay.
And you're going to squat down like this and keep your chest and your eyes looking forward, chest up.
Okay.
And then you're going to take your foot, bring it back a little bit, and then shoot it forward like that. You want to be balanced on this leg, and then you'll let the rock go. Right now, you don't have to let the rock go. Just slide out. Just slide out with it.
That is a much longer way than it looks on TV.
Yeah.
That's a long way to slide before you let go of the rock.
So that was also a little bitty baby slide I did.
Okay.
Because usually we're sliding out much harder than that. So you want to see it again, or are you ready to do it?
I'm ready to try.
All right, let's do it.
So I put my left foot on this.
Well, first, don't do that one first.
Not yet,
Do the other
you're right,
foot. Yep,
'cause I almost
you'll
fell.
slip. Yep.
All right, so this
There
one
you
goes
go.
in here. This one goes on there like that.
Yep, and then you'll squat down.
If I can get it on there. There we go. Okay,
you
so
go.
then
Squat down.
squat down like
Booty,
this.
booty down. Whoa,
right?
whoa. Back
Whoa.
up, back up. Just squat in the hack.
Okay,
Pretend like you're not even going
and
anywhere.
then push myself forward.
Yep.
Is
And
that right?
then you'll take your one leg, this leg back a little bit, and then shoot it forward into a lunge. There you go. Good. You know what? You didn't die.
Whoa.
So that's a positive.
Trust me, that is much more complicated than it looks on TV.
All right, you gonna try it again?
Sure. So foot
And
in the
I'm gonna
hack.
give you something to look at. You can look at me.
All right, foot in the hack, left foot here. Got the rock
And now
ready to
then
go.
squat down. Yep, and keep your eyes looking towards me. That'll keep your chest up.
Chest up more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Do you think you can let the rock go now?
Sure.
Let's try that.
Man, that's a long way to go.
Our shoes help.
So out of curiosity, let the rock go, or do you give it some force and push it?
So, typically you want your body's momentum to be what's carrying the rock forward. So you really just want to let it go. As you get better at this, you will eventually be able to tell, like, oh, I've come out too slow and I've got to add a little bit to it. Or, oh, I've come out too fast and I need to take a little back.
So I'm on the line. I'm in the hack.
Squat down.
One foot there. Squat down, chest up.
There you go. That's a good
All right,
squat.
more like this.
Yep.
Leg back and then spring forward.
And then spring forward. There it is. Let it go. Good.
Well, as I predicted, this is a lot more difficult than it looks when you're home watching it on the Winter Olympics. It takes a lot of strength, it takes a lot of skill, it takes a lot of balance, it takes a lot of endurance. So if anybody wants to come out and learn more about curling, Steve, how do they find you?
Go to our webpage, easy to find, Charlotte Curling on a web search, and it's us and a bunch of hair salons, and you just look for the Learn to Curl and click there.
Look, it's a great facility. They're great people. I promise you should come out and try it. You'll have a good time. We'll see you next time on Ace at Large.